Assalamu alaikum everybody, welcome to sunny Abu Dhabi. We are just about to prepare these FS Labs A321NEO. Well, it's an LR version, this one specifically. And we are en route from Abu Dhabi to Palma de Mallorca. And we're gonna have ourselves a very nice flight. Gonna be mostly chill and quiet. So you'll see, well, I'll leave you to the music and to the views. If you have any questions, you can feel free to text and we'll get along with it. Alright, that's me since you haven't seen. And we're just about to now commence the boarding of the airplane. That's our aircraft today, the Airbus A321neo. Enjoy! I talked to myself a little bit, so please ignore that. Right, before we continue on with the stream, let me give you an update on what we are planning on doing today. So this flight from Abu Dhabi to Palma de Mallorca, we're planning specifically to get to Mallorca at a time where there's a pretty nice events going on. Mallorca can get a little bit busy during some events, so that's actually kind of what we're hoping for. That being said, we are not going to make it even if we depart on time, which is 34 minutes. So we're going to try do a little bit of time acceleration, which I don't actually know if the airplane has. If it doesn't, too bad. The reason it's taking a bit longer is the flight's originally supposed to be 7 hours and 20 minutes. But obviously it's going to take a little bit more now because of how we are simulating it today with regional airspace closes. Let me bring you onto the flight plan here. That gives you an overall view of what's happening. We're departing Abu Dhabi and we're heading essentially inland to the peninsula, and then we'll track along an airway that's on the coast of the UAE. This southern part of Saudi Arabia has free route airspace, so you're allowed to go point to point. So as soon as we leave Tanzu, we're flying direct to Etihad, which is about a 400-mile stretch. Somewhere over there we'll chat a little bit and I'll disconnect, and then we'll come back in for the arrival. But for your own information to know, we are flying through Saudi Arabia. Actually, you know what? I'll come back to the route map shortly. Let's take a look at this instead. This is our flight plan for today. Let me mark off some things here for you. It might be a little bit easier to digest. Maybe I should open it in books. So that way we can actually mark things, you know. Here we go. Good. So let's mark some stuff. Obviously, I haven't updated the registration. We're actually Alpha 6 Alpha Echo Papa. It's a Leap 1 with a 32K engine. We're simulating it to be an LR, but I believe the actual aircraft is a regular 321neo. I don't know how many center tanks it has. I've been trying to figure it out. Using a cost index of 45 today. And you'll see here the ground distance of 3,200. Roughly 3,200 miles, and you see air distance is 3,800. That's an additional 600 miles we're flying, and that's purely because we're flying with a lot of wind affecting us today. In fact, that's what it says here. The average wind correction is -74. which is a headwind of 74 knots, which means we're actually flying further through the air than we are over the ground. There's no takeoff alternate required today, because we're not simulating real world events to that extent. And we've got a few step climbs, 320, 34, 36, and Arlos, they actually have us descending, but we're probably going to climb, see what happens there. We planned a 5% contingency for a long flight. We could actually have done 3. That gives us a ton and about 25 minutes to fly. Flight time is 8 hours and 25 minutes. In an air body, that can be exciting. So we're taking off in Abu Dhabi with a block fuel of 24,000. So the aircraft is being refueled right now, and that's what we're hoping to see. Our alternate, Ibiza. And to get to Ibiza, we need 1.2 tons, but we need to land with the final reserve intact, which is this. So the number that we want to land latest by is 2.2. We want to land in Palma. If not, we bounce and we head to what's it called, to Ibiza. And that's all we need to know from this chart here. Let's go ahead and load in Navigraph so we can take a look properly at how the route is going to look today. That's yesterday's flight. Let me get rid of that. Let's import the flight from SimBrief. There we go. That's our routing today. Let's go into satellite view or world map view so you can see. Past the UAE, we're going to get to see some of these sites in Abu Dhabi. We'll fly right over Yas Island. We're hoping to get some sort of shortcut here. So ideally there's no air traffic, so we're going to fly direct Kuwait to Lonab. And then as we discussed, over the Rub al Khali, the empty quarter, just south of Riyadh, we'll fly over Medina into a place called Wajir, Al-Waj, okay? Over the Red Sea, across the Red Sea, the Sinai, Cairo, Alexandria, and into the Med. We'll pass just south of Heraklion, through Catania, through Sicily, and I believe this is Sardinia, just over the southern end near, what's this called, Cagliari, and then we'll commence our arrival into Mallorca via Menorca, and our alternate is right next door at Ibiza. 8 hours and something minutes, as we discussed. Good, so I'm starting the cockpit prep now. You can follow through if you got questions. Thanks. You shall be served. I don't know the exact when you're supposed to turn on the pumps. In my aircraft we turn it on just before we start, so I'll turn it on then as well for the 320. This is great. I would start the air conditioning, but at the moment we got pre-conditioned air, which is pretty good. I'll put the strobes off because I've heard on Flight Sim, if you put them on auto for other people online, it shows up as blinking, which makes me look like an amateur, which I don't want to look like, so we're gonna do that. No smoking can go on. Seatbelts are off at the moment because we are refueling. Everything up here looks decent. Ideally I just wanted to do this, I just kind of got distracted. Let's work on the McDo. We're working on the captain side primarily. I will just leave this on init, however. We'll request the initialization, in which we have no answer. I'm always struggling with the initialization stuff for this. Oh, it has a flight number. So we're going from Abu Dhabi to... Let me see if I can clear that and it will take the information. It's cute. There we go. Initialization is received. Then we can go back here to the init page. There it is. Abu Dhabi to Palma de Mallorca. Ibiza is the alternate, so it's Palma de Mallorca to Ibiza. Etihad 115. All that's in. We need to adjust the ground temperature, which is actually a little bit warmer than you would expect. I'm gonna take that information off Navigraph. You're not gonna be able to see it, but you can trust me. At the moment, there's no weather conditions for Abu Dhabi. In fact, there's no METAR published for Abu Dhabi. I believe it's 30 something degrees. I'm gonna go ahead and set 30. Let's request the wind. In the meantime, I'll check out the flight plan. Orno. 560 to Aluda, Golf 73 to Ukrag. Atrux is the direct Yankee 511. Yankee 511 is pretty long. Papa Mike Alpha Medina, Zulu 712 to Wajir, Lima 677. Should be all the way to the Cairo VOR, which it is, 617 until Nabsi, Lakpa, Metru, Arlos. And those are the airports at Catania, Fontana Rosa, Tabot, Morris, and then the arrival. Very nice. In Abu Dhabi, you know what, because we actually don't have any information, I'm gonna look at Flight Radar 24 very quickly to see what these guys are using today. I don't know if you guys can hear the music, but it is banging. Some Arabic house for you guys. So Abu Dhabi is using, by the looks of it, runway 13 today for departure, 13 left specifically. So that's going to save us some additional time as well. 13 left. And I'll need to bring you guys in here so we can decide what runway we're going to use. Abu Dhabi charts for the SID. Let's get the other charts prepared as well while we're here. We'll need the airport chart, taxi, and parking chart for 13 left. And we can see where we're parked. We're parked at 622 down there. And we're going to go to runway 13 left. Intersection Alpha 3 and behind will be good for us. And from 13 left, we are going in the direction of where? Ornell. So let's check out some Ornell departures. Ornell 2 kilo is for 31 left. 31 left. There's another Ornell departure. This is 31s as well. Maybe I can... Nope. Oh, so all the Ornell departures depart 31. Oh no, here's the 13 here. There we go. And Ornell 1 Foxtrot might work for us. Which takes us kind of out. And yeah, I think that's the one that we're looking for today, the Ornell 1 Foxtrot. Let's go ahead and plug that in. Departure 13 left, the Ornell 1 Foxtrot is available. And I'm gonna temporary flight plan, check there's no discos, and we can go ahead and insert that. Abu Dhabi 13 right, in case we come back for whatever reason. And we're gonna copy the active flight plan onto the secondary. After Ornell, we're gonna set a new destination, Abu Dhabi. And we're gonna prepare for a return to Abu Dhabi in case things go wrong. ILS 13 right by IMSIC. I'm just guessing it's IMSIC. Let me take a look. 13 right by IMSIC or ORDAC, doesn't really matter. But that's in on route 2 with a discontinuity if we need to come back. Let me actually zoom in a little bit better for you so you can see the McDo. I'll adjust that a little bit more to the left. This is the one we're going to work with primarily, so that's a better view for everyone involved. Yeah, so that's route 2 sorted out. Let's go back to the init page, see what else we're missing. Zero fuel weight and CG. Block fuel, we know what we're going to come up to, and that's going to be... We're going to come up to a block fuel of 24,000, so 24 tons fuel. Don't know the CG and stuff yet, that's going to come in later. Flight plan is done, that's good. OMAA 13 right, I did the secondary. I have init, secondary flight plan. Init the secondary, no need. ATC calm. There's no communication required at the moment, so things are looking good here. With the MCDU pre-flight. Let's do the rest. To be honest, I don't know what the QNH and stuff is here in Abu Dhabi. It's not, it's no longer published, so we're gonna have to kind of find a way to guesstimate, I guess. So we'll go full 1,000 feet. which is the initial climb. Pull the flight directors on, constraints. I can tell you the elevation of Abu Dhabi, and maybe we can work it out backwards. So Abu Dhabi airport is at 83 feet, and this is currently showing 300 and something. So if you roll this number down to 83, there we go. This should be roughly the QNH 1006. And I'm gonna make sure the FO has that set as well, 1006. And we're gonna set that on the ECAM as well. Sorry, not the ECAM, on the standby ISFD as well, 1006. Good. I think from our perspective, we are mostly ready. Let's work on some of the performance here for takeoff. Dry runway, flex, optimum anti-ice is off, AC. Okay, let's go with it off. You just have to remember to turn it back on, because this is something I always forget on the Airbuses. Anyway, it's part of the job to check anyway. So we'll use our estimated takeoff weight plus 1 ton, just to see. So it's going to be 90.1. And if we lose a ton, great. Actually, a ton is a bit much, isn't it? Screw it, 90.1. If we reduce, so be it. If we increase, we'll have to redo the performance. 90.1 tons. Don't know what the Mach tow is, but that works out. We're doing runway 13 left, and as we discussed, it's going to be an intersection departure, and the intersection today is going to be intersection Alpha 3. 13 left, intersection Alpha 3. All that in. Let's calculate the performance. Maximum takeoff weight is greater than actual takeoff weight. Okay, something's off here, because I've been told the maximum takeoff weight is 97 tons. Okay, so let's bring it back to 89 then. So we might have a discrepancy between the flight plan and what's here. Just want to make sure I got the right airplane. Yeah, okay. And let's try with 89 tons to count. There we go. Hey, what's up, RB? How's it going, man? Hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you on the channel for a bit. Got a V1 range, VR range, V2 range. I'm quite happy with these numbers, and let's put them into the Mach 2 based on what we're expecting. So zero fuel weight estimated 65.3. I don't have a EG yet. 24. That's gonna work out for 89.1 takeoff weight, which is apparently maximum takeoff weight. I can go ahead and put some fuel numbers here as well. So the route reserve, according to the FMC, is going to be 1 ton. Oh, it's 0.9 here on the OFB. Dude, the FS Labs is not bad. I think it's a bit clunky with the MCDU and having to use GSX internally. The integration's nice, but I'm still not there yet. So if you're jumping between the FS Labs and the Phoenix, it can get a little bit busy, a little bit confusing. So I'm always late when I try the FS Labs, but it's a pretty cool and capable airplane. So you know, I'm trying to enjoy myself. Route reserve 5%, according to this, is 1 ton. 1 ton is correct, and the alternative Ibiza supposed to be 1.2 tons. Let's go ahead and put that in. So minimum fuel at destination 2.2 is 2.3. I'm quite happy with that, and it says we're lacking 500 kilos. Don't worry, we make a plan. Obviously the winds, I think, are not in. We're gonna ask. Oh, the winds are in. So what's your fuel prediction on arrival? 3.8 tons. Not bad. So the rest of the performance needs to go in. So let's take a look once again at the EFB. We are using flaps 1 plus F. As trim is supposed to be 1.6 units up. TBD. Flexing to 48. V1 range between 64 and 68. I think we'll go all the way to the end. 168, 168, and 169. It's hot. It's crazy. Transition also 13,000. Yep, that's Gulf standard. Let me bring you back to this. Has it got any acceleration height? 1062 it says. Yep, so 1060, 1070, 1070. And for the engine out, we'll also do 1070. All of that is set. I'm not going to set the takeoff shift. Not really required at the moment. And I need to initially try find a way to fly without the GPS on. So how do we do that? Position monitor. And we're going to deselect the GPS. This is because of GPS jamming and or spoofing. And you'll notice that it changes, of course, our RMP and ANP capabilities as we go along. Shame, I see the airplane still hasn't started fueling. I'm not sure why. It should have done so by now. Take a look at fuel. I had requested fueling initially, so it's stuff like this. The integration is nice, but it's a bit hectic as well. So 24 tons fuel. Let's put that in for us. That's it. It jumps up to 24 tons. Very happy with that. Got 24 tons of fuel, and that should be now accurate. 65.3, takeoff 89.1. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let's see what it's doing. I have not tried Power. I've tried it once on FSX. Didn't go well for me either. And I've just been... I mean, I find it almost practically impossible, eh? I mean, maybe I'll try it one day. Just not today. Or soon. What do you mean? It's not loading any of the passengers either? Yeah, let's take a look at the spot view. Ui! I was, yeah, I see them boarding, but maybe it requires me to actually set it up in the MCDU, how many passengers I want. So this is, I know it's clunky, payload. So 2x5 crew is fine. We are going with a zero fuel weight of 65.3. I'll put that in here. And that should sort everything out for me. So how many passengers has it decided that I'm going to take? Okay, not interested. It's worked out the zero fuel weight for me, the planned zero fuel weight. I'm happy with how that is. And that's it. I just wanted to take a look at one more item. Plenty of center tanks, good. What's the maximum fuel I can take? 26. Okay. Good. On that front, I think we are mostly ready. Clean speed's quite high at 244. And while we are waiting, I'll just try take a look at some of my controls to see if they actually work. Okay, flap levers work. Lovely, those work. And spoilers, that works as well. Parking brake works as well. I'm always finding out last second. And one more thing that we do need to check is my tiller working. Tiller is not working. Why we do a flight control check as well, hey? We're just planning a little bit additional. Good, the tiller should work now. It does. Don't move the tiller on the ground, obviously. I mean, you're connected. If you have the hydraulics set up, you could hurt somebody. VOR, yes, VOR on both sides, and the Alpha Delta Victor VOR is tuned in. So in case of an engine failure, that's something we can look at. That might be something fun to talk about. Get the gear up and then we'll start talking. That's mean. Oh, there's a lack of charts of power. Sorry, RB, I didn't see that chat yet. I mean, I'm just trying to catch up on the delay. Let me go look at some charts for Paro as well. Maybe I'll find it. What was I going to tell? Let me just finish this engine out first. So we're departing runway 13 left. What I like to do is to go to the RNAV approach or the ILS approach for the opposite runway and see what they're doing. So here you see, in case of a missed approach, they're going to ALSOF, which for me works very well as well. So in case of an engine failure, we're going to go to ALSOF. Minimum holding is at 4,000 up to 6,000. We're clear to 4,000, so we'll head up to ALSOF at 4,000. So we just need to request for one. And how I'm going to do that is get to the McDo. I believe I go here somewhere. Nope, that's wrong. I go here somewhere. That's also wrong. Maybe I go here somewhere. Fix info, perfect. And then we're going to reference fix also. That's where we're going to go. And you can put in a radial. The radial is going to be radial 304 from also. That's where we're going to hold. Oh, sorry, 304 radial. Wonderful. And that should pop up on our plates here. Let me just take a look at the plan view. And as we go down, we'll see ALSOF. Oh, why haven't we seen ALSOF? Ah, there it was. There's ALSOF. So that's the blue line. So we get the engine failure. We're going to go this way. We'll track left to ALSOF. And we'll hold with left turns along this line at about 4,000 feet. Until we know what we're going to do. Speaking about things we're going to do at the moment, we're going close to maximum takeoff weight. And the maximum landing weight for my own reference is going to be 68 tons. Sorry, 79 tons. That's not too bad. It's only about 2 tons to lose. Oh, sorry, 10 tons to lose. Which is going to be difficult to do. But if you look at the overhead panel, this aircraft doesn't have the ability to jettison, which means it's probably designed to land above its maximum takeoff weight by a decent margin. This is generally how these things are designed. So, for you, RB, we're gonna go take a look at the charts of Paro. I've never actually looked at it. When I tried it, I didn't have Navigraph, so we do have it now. There's no approaches. Oh, there is no charts. So I guess it's like a visual approach down the valley. It's gonna be kind of tough to do, huh? Let's see what how that would work out for us. Baro, Victor, Quebec, Papa, Romeo. Okay. So I guess you get to the VOR, and you sight the airport, and you kind of do something along the... Honestly, I don't know. That's tough. I was convinced there was charts for it. It seems a bit ridiculous. There isn't. And let's see how we're doing in terms of the boarding, because I'm ready to go in the next 9 minutes. Let's see what GSX. Refueling is in progress, boarding is in progress. How far along are we? Ugh, sometimes I really hate how clunky things are with GSX. Ooh, guys, I'm gonna come right back. Mountains nearly became my friend. RB, I'm going to leave you for a second with a nice view. My wife's just returned home, and I'm going to go welcome her back after a long day at work. So stay tuned. I'll make myself a cup of coffee, enjoy the music. I'm hoping to depart in 10 minutes, so if you need to go do something and come back later, that'd be awesome as well. I'll chat just now. Thanks for waiting. I took the opportunity to also grab myself a croissant. Probably why I'm chunky. So where are we? I feel like boarding takes forever with GSX. Come on, man. I'm still in progress, but you never know. So that's something I don't quite like. It just says in progress. I don't know how far along in progress it is. Oops, sorry, let me make sure the flaps are up. They are up. Perfect. I was just checking if they do work after all, so those do move. That's great. Good. I feel like my frames are not great today, so we might have to end up doing some frame generation. But at the moment we're working with TA and full ultra, everything, and I got a super wide screen, like a big, playing 4K as well. Unfortunately, I can't stream in 4K because I think they want me to pay. Oh, sorry, something we need to look at. Tech log. Pretty cool with the Flight Sim Labs. So I'll tell you some defects that you can maybe work with. Water leak in the forward galley, the shutter valve is closed, and that's extended until the 22nd of September 2026. Oh, well within the date, we're okay. Expires in 179 days. 1X extension seatbelt valleys in poor condition, raised due to nil stock at base. 119 days. Okay. The airplane has 50 hours almost. The engine is at 56 and 55, so they'll have a slight difference. That's quite cool. He's done 25 cycles. Let's take a look at the fault history. Lav F toilet seat cover found in poor condition. Level 2 ADD needed, lack of time to replace on not input. Okay, that's 26th of September. It was resolved. And that's it. That's a fault history. Flight history we can see. Okay, nothing there. Back to the home. There's no other defect. Level 1 defects. CPU, cargo, doors, open. Okay. Honestly, I don't know how much longer the boarding is going to take. I hope it's done soon, because I'd like to get going. Oh, West Asia FSS. Okay, that's not as good. Okay, so you interested in a briefing? You guys, maybe not. Maybe I brief myself. Talk to myself anyway a lot. Good, let's bring this open. Plan. Stand 622. We expect to get pushed. Something like this perhaps. And from there we're expecting to taxi out on Lima 4 to join... What is this? I don't know what this is. Lima 3, Lima 2. What taxiway is this? Ah, taxiway Lima. Then we join taxiway Lima out this way until we get to taxiway Bravo. We'll turn left on Bravo. We'll carry straight on down the runway. The long way to go on Bravo. And then we'll turn here onto Alpha 3 for departure. That is the expected departure routing, and then we go straight down. Obviously we'll be in the runway there. This is a great diagram. Following which, the departure we talked about was the Ornell 1 Foxtrot. Ornell 1 Foxtrot. Initial climb clearance is to 4,000 feet, which we'll check has been set, though I can see it on my screen. I'll show you guys as well. GNSS is required. However, due to GPS spoofing, the GNSS at the moment is off. DME updates are on, so there's probably going to be a lack of DME updates just because we're on ground level and we don't...
Rouse 21, request radio check on 122.8.
6x5. It's an additional.
Is that even a scale?
It's off the charts.
No.
I'm quite happy with that joke. Anyway, that's what we call a daddy joke. 4,000. We're going. Okay, so after departure, it's going to be a left turn to 097 to Ulala, and we need to be above 45, below 7,000. So there's not going to be ATC. So we need to clear ourselves up as well. Hey, good to see you as well, man. I've been looking at some of your streams. Pretty nice. I'm trying to get to your level. I was on your Discord the other day. I just keep starting. I just want to see your landings, and I always seem to miss it. Actually, for Ornell at 1,000 or above. Fantastic. All of these things we need to look at. Non-compliance with RNAV shall be reported. Hopefully it'll work, because when we set toga, it should self-position because it knows where the start of the runway is. Contact Abu Dhabi radar as soon as possible. Otherwise, we wait until Abu Dhabi Tower. Oh, are they always there? Oh, shame. You know, I don't have Twitch on my TV, and usually I try to look at things on YouTube, but I should probably get Twitch on my TV. That would be fun. Expect radar vectoring. Okay, cool. Everything is normal. Everything's under control. Nice. So the only thing I really learned from that is that the SID needs to be set to 4,000 feet, which is done. We also talked about our GPS primary lost. Yep, that's part of the plan. And we're just now waiting to set the final zero fuel weight CG. Let's see if we got a message from the company. Sometimes that comes up Atsu, but doesn't say message received. Boarding. Oh, come on, are you serious? Alright, so let me go ahead and work on this again, because it's just a bit clunky. I don't think I'm really enjoying the interface here. I think I'm more of a simple person, so this is a bit much for me. 65.3. That's it. All good. Water 100%, please. Catering 100%. Bring all the food you can. I'm hungry. And we'll do instant request. Done. What else can we do? Fuel with 3 ACTs. That's already sorted out. Receive messages. There's a load sheet. Fantastic. Compliance with edition number 1. Abu Dhabi to Palma de Mallorca. 2x0. That's not quite right. Okay, we need a new load sheet because we're actually 2x5 for the crew. 2x5 now, and we can request again. Instant request. AOC. We should have another message shortly. Oh, I guess there it is. Good. Abu Dhabi to Palma de Mallorca, Alpha 6 Alpha Echo Papa 2x5. Zero fuel weight 65.4 with 65.3 on the flight plan. Takeoff weight 89.1, 89.1 on the flight plan. 151 passengers, no infants. Oopsie, wrong button. No infants. Mac of zero fuel weight is 25.1. 27.4 here. 25.1. Maybe there's let's see what I calculated with for the takeoff performance. So anything forward is more penalizing, anything rearwards is more. So we did it with 16.09, which is fine. We calculated with another 300 kilos on top. So all of that is working out for us nicely. All of these numbers should work with the exception of this. So for that, I'm just going to go ahead and set the actual zero fuel weight the actual MACTO we have now is 27.4. Let me go ahead and set that up, 27.4. And let's recalculate Alpha Tree Alcolachi. Yeah, man, Hans, we'll see you shortly. You're not missing out much. We're just trying to figure out the slabs. MACTO actual. Okay, so we're gonna go back and set this to 89 tons. And hopefully this will now work nicely for us. Calculate. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and get the APU started. I will start getting things disconnected. Seatbelts can go on. The fueling is completed. I thought it was a 3-position switch, but it's only 2 here. 68, 68, 69. Well, we had a flexing to 48. And step trim is going to be 0.3 up. So let's go back to the MCDU and let me just finish off here. Fuel in tanks, that's what we wanted. And you know what? I think this load sheet's looking pretty good. Let's accept it. Let me come back here and put in the zero fuel weight CG that we worked out was 20. Oh shit. Zero fuel weight CG. I should have written that down. I'm always... Because you actually get a printed out load sheet, usually. And now that I don't have one, it's it's a hindrance more than anything else. Let's go to the Atsu and let's look at AOC menu, received messages, the load sheet that we received, the zero fuel weight. Okay, so 25.1, 25.1. Let's not forget it this time, /25.1. All of that's going to work out. That's all filled in. Performance page, that was filled in. We're just waiting to change this to 1/0. What now? 0.3 up. Check takeoff data. I did check. It looks pretty nice. Thank you very much. Is the flex still 48? That's something we need to verify as well. It is still 48. A VMU, minimum unstick 125, minimum VR 120, V.2 243. Good. I think everything is looking nice in this airplane. The APU is now available and we can disconnect the ground power. Yep. And we can get these guys to disconnect all the ground equipment as well. Sometimes I think it's easier on the EFB, to be honest. So GPU can go off. We don't need any more preconditioned air. And the chocks can go off as well. I'm not doing any checklists because I don't have them. And I don't want to lie to you guys. So APU bleeds on. Abu Dhabi is kind of hot, so we'll go full cold. Everyone can freeze. Flight Sim doesn't know it's 30 degrees because the weather is not is not published anymore in Abu Dhabi due to regional issues. But that's it. On the MCDU, that's there. You got the flight plan page. And I think we're almost ready to go. Doors were all closed. Let me just make sure I have a different page selected. Did I not disconnect the GPU? GPU is gone as well. Super. I'll go on to my... Oh, there's a checklist. Gear pins and covers. Yeah, they were removed. Fuel quantity 24 tons. Belts were on. ADIRs and nav. Got barrel 1006 that we kind of worked out by ourselves. So let's start preparing the aircraft for departure. As soon as you turn on the beacon light, I think GSX takes it from there. We'll go to automatic pilot, or maybe I have to request it manually. I like a separate. I know a lot of people like good integration with GSX. I like good integration. I don't want it to be specifically in the MCDU because then it just makes it very clunky for me. Options. Okay, maybe we can request. Refueling 0 kgs loaded, baggage loading in progress. Prepare for pushback and departure. Okay, so I'm gonna restart GSX because that's the only way I can get this to work now. Oh gosh, it's clunky. I'm not the smartest guy though, so if you guys have better ways of figuring it out. Alright, Aviator Zulu. We'll catch you shortly. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to get... I'm just gonna push now, but I just need... just need to figure out how I did it the first way around. Gosh, I feel dumb. Was not Atsu. Was options under external controls. GSX. We are going to request... Prepare for pushback and departure. That's it. Finally. Performance. My side, my call. That. And are we gonna get pushed? Yep, the jet bridge is walking away. Beacon lights are on. Fantastic. While she's getting ready, let's go ahead and do the checklist. Parking brake. Set. Takeoff speeds and thrust. So we are flexing to 48. Speeds are 68, 68 and 69. Flaps 1 up 0.03. Windows. They look pretty closed. Go to the door. I mean, I haven't tried opening it because I'm afraid I won't be able to close it. Beacon lights. They're on. That's done. So we are ready for the push. Long way to go. I'm gonna see if we can do something exciting. So I read on the internet that we are able to speed up the time on the FS Labs A321NEO. I certainly hope so. Let me turn down the external volume a little bit. And I hope we can, because I'm trying to make an event at Palma de Mallorca. Flight times are 8 hours and a half. Honestly, I'm trying to get there in 5-ish. All right. They look prepared. All right, let me announce my push to Abu Dhabi traffic. Zayed traffic, Etihad 115, stand 622, push and start using runway 13 left for departure. Etihad 115 for Zayed traffic. I like saying Zayed. Quite cool. Did he ask me to release the parking brakes? He might have. Oh no. And I can't tell because that thing doesn't show up. Ugh. Ah, they want the nose facing. Nose left, that's it.
Zayed traffic, road at 21, stand 3, pushing back onto Foxtrot facing east. Zayed traffic.
Oh, come on guys. I don't know what I'm doing wrong now. Parking brake is off. What am I missing? Oh, did I forget the chocks? I tend to forget the chocks sometimes. Oh, the chocks are off. Door 1L. So wait, is the door open or closed now? Holy shit. It's closed. Why is it orange on the EFP? Blue now. So it was probably just waiting for the door. So pilot error there. As usually tends to be the case with me. Let's go ahead and start the engines. Let me show you the sequence from inside. And then we'll go back outside. Lower pedestal, this thing goes to ignition start. I think they changed the sequence now on the Airbuses to 1, 2, 2. We'll start engine number 1. Oh shit, I wasn't expecting to go through this guy. Sorry, Oot. In my opinion, he's standing a little bit too close to that engine. But I'm not qualified to give those opinions. But I am feeling also for an evening karak. I bought myself some Lipton cardamom tea bags. We're gonna have a good afternoon tea as well. He is too close. This guy, I mean, I'm just glad I got rid of the wing walkers. They were a cool feature when it showed up, but you don't see them at most airports. You see them when you go to you see them often in South Asia, sometimes in Africa, and very often they're not there when you actually need them. That looks like a good start to engine number 1. I have a good feeling he's done a good job. Yo, he's too close. This guy's gonna be minced for catering. But that looks, I think that's about time for the first engine to be ready. It is ready. And we can go ahead and start the number 2 engine. Number 2.
Etihad 115, Royal Z21, confirm you're going for runway 13 left departure.
Affirm. One sec, I'll tell the gentleman just now. Okay, let me just set the parking brake first. Affirm, we're using runway 13 left for departure. Etihad 115.
Roger, Royal Z21, in that case we would expect 13 left as well.
I like that. Everybody's on the same page. GG. Starting the next engine. Parking brake is set. I do like the shape of Zayed Airport, and it's quite widely spaced. It's nice. Could use a touch of green maybe, because everything is very Very sterile. That being said, it's a nice airport to travel through, except for this little cocoon bits here. I think they're a little bit tight still, but yeah. Pretty good Shake Shack. All right, let's focus again on the engine start.
Roger 21 taxiing via Foxtrot Echo 3, holding short of 13 right. Side traffic.
13 right. All right, so actually that's two good starts. So let me so if anybody's watching a tutorial later on, this is how you get rid of the guy. You go external controls, GSX, request, and then confirm good engine starts. And now he's gonna bounce, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of what I need to do. So the APU, actually no, hold on a second. Not forget, before we do any of that, the start switch can go back to normal. Go up here to the overhead panel. APU bleeds on, sorry, off. The APU is no longer needed, so the master switch can go off. Go back to the lower pedestal. I'm gonna arm the speed brakes. Flaps 1 for departure. And last thing that I kind of want to need to check all the time is that I think that's actually pretty good. The 0.2 up versus up 0.3. Let's give it a nudge. Up 0.3, that's good. Alright, now one more thing that needs to be done is the PWS. He said he was clear, so I'll go put this on auto. And we are almost ready to roll here in Abu Dhabi. Ciao! Good, he's gone. I'm gonna do a flight control test before I start moving. I think you can do it on the move, but that's aileron full to the right. I don't know, we can't actually see through this. And the aileron full to the left. Elevators down, elevators up, rudder left, and rudder right. Okay, that looks pretty good, and we'll do a checklist. I need to find the checklist again. Checklist, there we go. After start, anti-ice as required. The anti-ice is not required, not in Abu Dhabi, not today. ECAM status. What do you have to say, ECAM? Auto brakes, forgot that. And takeoff config. ECAM status, A-OK. Pitch trim in percentage. Up 0.3, we did that first, I remember that. Rudder trim, 0 or neutral. And that means the after start checklist complete. Let's also do part of the taxi checklist. Flight controls were checked. Flap setting. We have config 1 plus F, or we should have config 1 plus F, which we do. What else do we need? Radar and predicted wind shear on and auto. Engine mode selector is a normal. ECAM memo. Takeoff no blue. Taxi checklist complete as well, so we will announce for taxi.
21 via Echo 3 crossing runway 13 right, follow to Delta 2 Charlie, holding short of hotel, Abu Dhabi traffic.
Delta 2 Charlie holding short hotel. Okay, I'm not sure where that is, so let's take a look. Delta 2 Charlie holding short hotel. Delta 2 Charlie holding. Okay, I see where Charlie is. Where's holding short of hotel? So they'll come down this way, I guess. Charlie and hold short of hotel. We're gonna just taxi further away, so we're fine. So I'll just tell them my plan now. Zaya traffic Etihad 115 taxiing Lima 4 Lima. Thereafter Bravo for holding point Alpha 3, runway 13 left. Zaya traffic Etihad 115. To a Toronto 5. I don't have a Discord yet. I'm just doing it for fun. I don't know if you know, if you ever catch me online again, join me. Parking brakes released, and the cabin is ready. I love quick cabins. The nose landing light can, takeoff light, taxi light can go on, and let's go. I have to remember to turn the to turn the packs off, because otherwise my takeoff performance will be invalidated. We're quite heavy, so I want to get it right today. Next stop, Palma de Mallorca. Obviously, we're not going to be around for most of the stream. We're going to depart now. And then I'm going to go hang out with my wife. And I just got myself Crimson Desert, so I'm going to play that as well. And then try to get my dog to eat some pills that she doesn't want to eat. So let's see. There's a Royal Jet. I didn't catch the aircraft type, but they're coming up on hotel. And if I'm not mistaken, they're also going all the way to Palma de Mallorca. TCAS on standby. Can you guys hear the Middle Eastern vibes here? Good vibes. What's happening now? So the markings are...
Traffic Roger 21, change in taxi. We will be taxiing left mic 4, Lima, holding short of Kilo.
Okay, there's a Royal Jet there. So let's go ahead. This is us here to join Lima. A little bit fast. It's supposed to do this at 10 knots. But I like to think of it more as a recommendation. Also, don't do what I'm doing now. Don't do any texting and flying. And great. I like these Middle Eastern vibes. I think for the arrival I'm going to wear a Kandura. It's that long thing that you see. Thrust levers now on idle. I think we've accelerated enough. 18-20 knots is fine. Once I get to a turn on Bravo, I'm going 30 knots because that's a long way to go. And in fact, after I get to cruise, I need to figure out how to do time acceleration. Otherwise, we're going to miss the event in Mallorca. It was so dumb because I selected the flight based on the fact that it's going to be exotic in Mallorca. Etihad hasn't actually started their flights to Mallorca yet. They're supposed to be summer only, I think starting in June or July. So I thought it'll be like a precursor, you know. Controllers in Mallorca would get excited. Ooh, Etihad is here already. But alas, I was wrong. And now because we're taking the route that's defined by the conflict, it's added quite a bit of additional time. It's supposed to be 7 hours 20. We're doing 8:30, so it's an hour 10. On top of which, are we actually delayed for the departure? Yeah, we're about 20 minutes late. Oh my god, brakes. Sorry, so there's a lot of a dead zone and then yeah, so based on all of that, I really need the time acceleration so I can get there for the event, because that's the whole reason I'm there.
Fire traffic Roger 21 following the Pencil Bus 321 there for holding point 13 left.
Trying to follow me, watch my NOS. Let's give 40% N1. A little bit. And let's see. They can keep up with the Airbus A321NEO with 32K engines. It's an additional 4Ks. Actually, what aircraft type was that behind us? In the meantime, we'll take a look at some of our additional chase plane views. So I just got myself a chase plane. I'm quite happy with it. I'd forgotten how much I used to enjoy it in P3D. So it's a 737. They're not going to make it to Mallorca unless it's a BBJ. Royal Jet, I think, is. GPS primary loss. Yep, that makes sense because we're flying on. We're flying on.
37 ain't that bad, mate.
Dinosaur. Anyway, I need to figure out how to check my aircraft position. The radio navigation is on, GPS is deselected. There needs to be a way for me to monitor my RMP and ANP because we need to do RNAV1. RMP1 actually. And that is, yep, RMP ANP we can find on the progress page. Okay, good. Just need to know for myself in case things go down. You know what, this is quite heavy because I've got 40% N1 and she's only through 20 knots right now. So decently heavy aircraft. I think it might be raining outside, which is quite nice. Okay, so once we're past this end of the terminal, we still have a little bit more to go. 24 knots, 25. Once we get to 28, I'll slam it shut and hopefully she'll continue accelerating with what residual thrust she has. And take a look at... That's idle. Take a look at the VATSIM maps here. See if there's anybody in and around the area that might be getting in our way for the arrival. Oh, looks clear. Abu Dhabi all the way to DWC looks clear. Passing Alpha Papa 2 on that side, so it's going to be the next ride for us, Alpha 3 intersection. So I'll go ahead and do what I always forget, turn the packs off. Major key, you have to remember to turn them back on. Alpha 3, step on the brakes. Brakes a bit more. We'll turn in at 12 knots, decelerating to 10. Burn. And let's announce Abu Dhabi traffic. Side traffic at Etihad 115, lining up runway 13 left. Side traffic. Alright. Approach end is clear. Departure end looks clear. Let's get some of the lights on. Landing lights, turn off lights, strobe lights, all of the lights. And there's definitely a checklist I need to do as well, so let's run through that. Takeoff runway. Definitely 13 left. TCAS is on Tara, and packs 1 and 2 are off. Very nice. We'll do it on the roll. The 10 knots or below when turning. I think so, because otherwise your tires scrub. Zaya traffic, Etihad 115, departing runway 13 left. Zaya traffic. Alright, let's roll her up. That's a bit too much. I don't know if it's... Oh shit, that was my tiller, it's on the floor now. I think it's 50 knots here. Sorry, 50% N1. Manflex 48, SRS, runway, auto thrust, blue. Starts up timers.
Side traffic, Roger 21 behind the fancy Airbus, lining up
100 knots.
13 left behind.
My tiller's on the floor. Wow. The shaking effects you have to kind of get used to on chase plane. Hands off, that's the same as rotate. Nice gentle rotation. You have a long tail behind you. And that was nice. Quite happy with that. RA is rising. Altimeter is rising. Vertical speed rising. You're up. Ay, 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 ay. Who flies this plane like a puppy? We. Leave a climb, she says. I'll put it on to climb. Press climb, climb. Whee! Yeah, I think it's, sorry about that, Hans. So I do believe it's 10 knots or less. Recommended. I know it is on the 737, 10 knots or less for the turn. Usually I like to keep a little bit of power. Nav F, okay, hold on, there's a lot of stuff going on now. I also need to turn on the packs. So tell you what, let's do a couple turns, we'll take it piece by piece, cancel the master caution. Okay, what is she complaining about? Nav FM GPS position disagree. Okay, aircraft position check. Yes, it will disagree because we are currently not using GPS navigation. So it messes things up a little bit. And as you climb, it comes into DME range, and then the aircraft can update itself based on radio navigation. You can see how there was a little bit of a map shift there, and this is just the reality of flying now in a world with GPS jamming. We can go ahead and set 7,000 feet, which is an altitude we need to reduce by.
Desire traffic, Roger 21 taking off runway 13 left, on 1 Foxtrot departure.
Airpack 1 and Airpack 2 are
Yeah,
off.
traffic.
I was aware of that. I didn't forget. I thought we had to wait for the flaps to go up, but we'll do 1 on first. We'll wait 30 seconds or something, and then we'll get Airpack 2 on. So we'll clear that message once more. That way you can see the aircraft is in fact pressurizing. Oops, this shouldn't have been on. Back to in-up system because I've turned it off. Let me turn it back on. Maybe it's supposed to do at 1500 feet. I don't really remember. I'm not an Airbus pilot. And then you can see there the cabin is currently descending because she's got to 650 feet. And according to schedule, she needs to be a little bit different. So she's descending slowly. Once she gets to where she needs to be, she's going to continue climbing. Good. We're leaving the flaps down a little bit longer because why? Wing speed was 244, and for whatever reason she's maintaining this. Ornell 1 Foxtrot. Was there a speed restriction for you, Ornell? Yep, max 230 knots. So that's all the way until Alpha Alpha 834, so we'll keep flaps until then. Usually I don't like to do any of the flow until after the flaps up, but of course the packs make sense, you know, because if you have a speed restriction until 1,000 feet, you can't just fly with the packs off. People will suffocate, people will die, and they will call me to the office. Pete, All-Star. There's a constraint here at Alpha Alpha 834, which is 7,000 or below, or 5 and above. I think the alert for the altitude is a bit too loud for my liking and too long for my liking. I don't think it needs to stay on this long. If there's a way for me to turn it off, I'm going to turn it off. 7,000 feet. I'm going to hand flight it all the way up till 14. I think it's a nice number. I will wait until we can accelerate here. Sorry, Hans, I missed it. What was the headache? Oh, you mean the altitude alert? Yeah, I need to turn that off. It's just, it's way too loud. I think it's just supposed to let you know if it comes on. I think you might have come onto stream a little bit late. So also there that I put on the fix info. That's because it's okay. Let's go flaps up. That's because that's where I want to go in case of an engine out. And now we'll climb ourselves to 1,000 feet. Whoa, chill, dog, chill. 1,000 feet, and we'll climb. Press climb, climb. Yeah, the packs. Honestly, I think I should just learn the airplane a little bit more. I don't know when we're supposed to turn the packs on. For the most part, I've only ever departed once with the packs off. So I have it in the back of my head, and I usually have a little script here that says packs off, so I remember to turn them back on IRL. But obviously, it's nice to fly in the sim with no consequences. Let's go ahead and set 240. So, which is why I think it might have made me slightly complacent here. I knew the packs were off. I needed to satisfy the climb gradient and all that, so it was only possible with the flaps off. In the meantime, there's so many other things that I've forgotten to do, so let's go to speed brakes and let's get rid of some of the lights. We don't need the nose lights anymore. Only put half the lights on. Turn off lights are not required. And yeah, good. So I was gonna fly to 4,000 feet, right? Let's see what the maximum climb speed is gonna be. Sorry, what the selected climb speed is gonna be. Still 250 knots at the moment, and that's a nice pink speed to fly to, 335 knots. Love it. Let's get going. Dip the nose until about 5 degrees. I'm gonna dip it just a touch more so we can fly almost flat, but accelerate just a little bit quicker. I don't know, that makes sense. The thrust reduction altitude, you turn the packs back on. I'm not entirely sure because I think stage 4 of the climb finishes at 1,500 feet or when the flaps are up. So I need to look that up, honestly. I don't know. I'll do that as part of my homework, and if you're watching the stream for the arrival into Mallorca, I'll give you an answer there. In fact, you know what, I'm gonna write that down. I love how you don't have to have your hands on an A320. You can just fly without your hands. Boeing would be giving me a hard time. Trim, trim, trim. Fix that, fix this. Don't touch me the right way, you know, and don't touch me the wrong way. I'll go upside down, that kind of stuff. So we're gonna have the GPS off until we hit probably after Cairo. I don't know how well it's simulated, but that tends to be the range of GPS jamming in and around the Middle East. There's that essentially the entire Middle East is being GPS jammed. Around Cairo, I know specifically close to Cairo city, any GPS is just going to point straight at the Cairo airport, and then gets messy. Around Larnaca, Cyprus as well, there's a bit of GPS jamming, quite often as well. And then we sorry Hans, I'm going to come back. I'll give you the ET just now. I'll just get to 14,000 feet, turn on the autopilot, and I'll stop manipulating the MCDU. So yeah, there's GPS jamming all the way up to Larnaca, parts of Turkey. In fact, it goes a long way until you get properly into Central and Western Europe, where life is safe. Yeah. There's quite a lot of GPS jamming going on. So I'm quite happy here. The airplane is settled at a nice climb rate at the selected speed. So I think it's a good time now to let the passengers go. We can retract the landing lights as well because we're above 10,000 feet. At 13,000 we'll be through transition altitude. We'll be setting standard there. The weather is not realistic. Obviously, over the past few weeks, there are no more METARs and TAFs available to airports in the UAE. Not sure why. I think it's got to do with some sort of defense, which is fine. But of course, because Flight Simulator takes quite a bit of the weather from that, there's nothing depicted here. As far as I know, it's... Oh, is it sunny in Abu Dhabi? Oh, shame. It's kind of sunny / cloudy, very dusty here. 14,000 as discussed. Autopilot is on. We're going to level 240. And Hans, I'm going to come back to your question. What time are we getting to Mallorca? So according to this, we're going to be at Mallorca at 1924, which is a bit later. It's about 20 minutes later than the event that I want to attend. So I need to save 20 minutes of time. So I'm looking maybe up to an hour. So I think the landing is going to be at actually 18:30 Zulu. Because also 19 is a bit late. I got stuff to do with the family as well. So it's going to be a while. In fact, I'm only just going to get up to cruise. And I'm going to bounce as well. Control rest. Make myself a cup of tea and enjoy the nice weather while we have it before it gets too hot. So, review of the oh dude, Hans, that'd be awesome, man. Would love to hear, like to see what you think. That'd be pretty cool. What was I telling you guys now? Oh yeah, so review of the FS Labs A321. I'm quite excited with the 321. I think it's a fantastic airplane, especially the NEO variants, the LR, XLR. I mean, the LR not so much because it's kind of been made moot by the XLR. But either way, they're fantastic planes designed for actual proper modern aviation. This is starting to get old, the interface, human-machine interface, but it is still very good. It's designed for what it needs to do, you know, like just efficient, keep going, get stuff done. That's a pretty good depiction of the airplane. I like how the A321 feels. It doesn't have the same sort of momentum that the Phoenix family has. I'm waiting for their variants of the A320 as well, of the NEO as well, which I think I will enjoy as well too. A few features that I do like about... Oh, did I do a checklist? Oh yeah. A few features that I do like about the FS Labs itself. They've got a pretty good failure suite, so you can take a look here. I've never really tried these failures because honestly, whatever I try is just going to be me doing my best, yeah? But it's not actually... Thank you, Duck Cage. It's not really amazing here in terms of failures. Like, if I can't do it well, there's no point doing it because then I'm just going to teach people the wrong thing if they are watching. I do like the tech log, yeah? Because I like thinking that there might be things in here that would actually affect your flight, and you kind of need to think about it in advance. And that's sort of what we do in the real world, you know, you don't always have a perfect airplane. So my views on the PMDG and the iFly. So if you look through my channel out on YouTube or on Twitch, you'll notice that I don't fly the 737 very often. There's a reason behind that. Actually flying those airplanes IRL, you see that the depiction in this simulator is not so great. PMDG 737 family, really nice in terms of systems and stuff. But there are things that I use on my daily lives in the FMC. Specifically, we have, I think, version 18 or 19, I'm not sure. But PMDG has got some ancient version, and it's not even a proper ancient version. It's a hodgepodge, like it's like a mix of different kind of user interfaces from different times in the 737's lives. And there's things that I use as technique when I fly, and not being able to use that in the on a PMDG airplane, it kind of irks me a little bit. There was one specific failure I did on the PMDG that didn't make sense with what was mentioned on the FCOM, didn't make sense with the level D simulator. I tried it a few days later, and it didn't quite it didn't work with the schematics. Yeah, I don't remember what it was. Maybe there was something that I did wrong, so I can't really say that it was definitely PMDG's fault. Please, I would never say that. Just turn this off. Just realizing I had this on the whole time. I hate this. So I can't really blame PMDG for that, because now you see, now the camera makes me look like I'm actually flying. Okay, here's another message. Nav, FM, GPS position, disagree. And we need to check the aircraft position manually. Oh gosh, you guys can see that 737 behind me. A rocket ship departure, 2000, climbing, but that's probably because I'm flying a little bit faster, but... my god, it's 8,000 feet higher. Oh my days, that's not right, is it? Anyway, a 737 climbs like a rocket. So those are kind of things that I do miss about a 737 in sim. Climbs really quickly. We are going to disregard this. That's because the GPS jamming is off. And we can take a look here. We can see how the airplane is doing in terms of RMP and ANP. RMP2, actually that's a lie. In the UAE we require RMP1 in UAE airspace. So I'm going to go ahead and set RMP1. And you can see how it keeps jumping. And that's because it switches between different nav aids. It uses like a DME location update. So it's still pretty accurate. If that is degraded, then we could consider turning the GPS back on, or we switch to raw data flying, which is also a little bit difficult in the Middle East because they've removed a lot of VORs as GPS became available. It's a double-edged sword. And to move on to iFly, hold on a second folks, let me just go ahead and set my final cruise level. 315 optimum, slightly above 320. Yeah, 320 works well for me. So the iFly is nice. I don't like the EFB that's come along with it, but obviously they're making it better, so props to them, good job. What I don't like about the iFly is certain elements of the user interface of the ND. Yeah, so I don't like how sometimes the track goes through the line. There are just things about the iFly that isn't very accurate. I also don't like the BRM. It doesn't. There's something wrong with the engine start, I believe. It says motoring for too long, and then the motoring doesn't disappear until it reaches 25. It's not a big deal. If you don't fly the airplane as extensively as I do, then you're probably not going to notice, and it wouldn't make a difference. But to me, these things just annoy me just that much to make me say, you know what, I don't want to fly this in the sun. That being said, I haven't been to work for almost 2 weeks now, so I think I do have to brush up on my 737 skills before I head for the next flight. Yeah, I've heard that they're fixing a lot of things in SB1. If it comes out, I'll give it a go. Will be nice. Something else, what I like different in terms of and flying in the sim between the PMDG and the iFly. I like the iFly because it seemed to have a little bit more weight and momentum to it. The EFB is just, again, super clunky, but it's similar to what the MCDU here in FS Labs is like, just busy, you know. I think PMDG did it a little bit neater. I've not tried any form of failures on the iFly because I just didn't think it would be up to it. And yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure if they do have failures unless I generate them myself. But it's pretty cool in terms of artwork. It looks fantastic, and I'm really glad that someone's giving PMDG a run for their money, because I mean, they are they've done fantastic. I've loved PMDG products since I first bought them. I think I bought them for FSX, and I believe I bought the 747. And you know, it was the big thing, and the iFly had a 747 back then as well, which didn't run on my system, but the PMDG did, and the iFly's red carpets, I still remember them to this day. Oh my god, they used to annoy me. But I liked PMDG, and then when I started life as an airline pilot, I started using PMDG a little bit to prepare myself for my type rating, and I used the FSX version of it, which was good. And then I gave up flight simming from, I want to say, about 4 years, from 2016-ish until 2020. And COVID came up, and you know, I wasn't flying, and my sister said, let's build a computer, so we did. And then I picked up Flight Simulator again, and I was on P3D version 5. And then I bought the PMDG again, and it felt like the same thing. Then I came on to Flight Simulator 2020, and you know, we were really starved for decent add-ons. So when the 737 came on to P3D to Flight Sim 2020, I bought it, and honestly it looked fantastic, you know, like really looked good in the sim. So I was happy to pay the price for it. But then for 2024, nah. I mean, most of the world is moving on to the Max anyway, and I like to, as far as possible, I'd like to fly real world airliners with a little bit of, you know, creativity behind it. Also like to fly sometimes the retro airliners, the heavy ones especially. But the 737 at this time doesn't necessarily have a spot for me. Even when I'm going to do my sims every 6 months, we tend to do them now on Maxes. So to have an NG doesn't really help. I mean, yeah, it's good, but at the same time, I'd rather just have a Max. Like if I'm scheduled to fly on an NG, I literally go, ugh, you know. So maybe if PMDG comes up with a Max and it's really good, like a step above the 737, and it's not the same code with the same 5 frame per second wing flex and all that, then I'd be interested in a Max. iFly is doing okay so far, but I would love to see some proper competition, something along the lines of Phoenix. I'd even be happy with a clunky sort of FS Labs Max, because I think it's a great aircraft and it deserves a certain recognition. But yeah, that's my rant and conclusion. Yeah, 1011, you know, honestly, I've been looking at some of the old retro liveries, and I am super excited. Would I take it out onto VetSim? Probably not. But I'm really looking forward to doing old school radio navigation with a what do you call it? Old school radio navigation with a heavy aircraft, and it looks fantastic. I've also enjoyed AnyBuild's products. Obviously, they don't have the same system depth and engine failure, and you know, the ability to select failures. I don't use it very often, but it's kind of nice to know that that's how deeply they've built it. The one that I was pleasantly surprised with was the Hurley's Aerosoft A340-600. Super nice product. Really liked it. The other day I did the PMDG 777, had random failures turned on, and I did receive a random failure, which is also very cool. It just makes it, you know, exciting. INS, you know what? I've never actually tried it. I know roughly how it works. And I can see how it can be useful for long range travel, but I think as you get closer, especially in modern aviation with all the trombones that you fly around major airports, the INS is not really practical. So you'd have to if you've gone to Munich, you'll see that they've got the full trombone in Munich. It's not something that's going to be very nice to do on a 1011 with an INS. But if they have also an arrival that starts from an NDB or a VOR, like an old school raw data arrival, that would be very satisfying on a 1011, because then you have to calculate in your head and do it. You might not get a great landing, but you're always thinking a lot further ahead of the aircraft just in terms of flying it. Whereas right now we're taking on more of a management role. Speaking of which, management is trying to reach me, probably about something that I said to somebody sometime. These guys are on my case the whole time. Receive messages. Let's see what the message is. What do you have to say to me, my friend? 1144. Oh, Sigmets. Jedi fire embedded thunderstorm observed within a block. Okay, I don't care. Tops above flight level 390. Okay, now I do care. Moving northeast. No change. Okay, so keep your eyes peeled for thunderstorms. That's a good one too. That's good. And here's a Malta segment. It's pretty nice. Our airline doesn't do that. They just figure it out yourself. Severe turbulence forecast within blah 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 blah. Oh, sorry, wrong button. Between 330 and 350 moving east. No change. So that might come into play, but that's about 4 hours down. And we'll probably be at 36 at that point already. Ooh, I found it. Jump ahead. That's what we're going to use today. So we need to save 30 minutes of time, because at the moment 1926 is where they expect us. Sorry, let me turn off the ladies and gentlemen. Stop. Okay. So yeah, so let me bring you guys back onto the McDo. 1926. I need to save an hour because I want to get there at 1826-ish. So we need to jump to a waypoint about an hour away, which I think realistically would be Kitub, which is an hour and 10. So once we jump ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and request and change the time in sim, so all of this should hopefully update. We're trying, fingers crossed. If it works, if it doesn't, let's see. I really hope it works, because otherwise it's everything would have been for nothing, and then I'll just do a short flight later in the evening instead, just to satisfy that itch of having landed in Mallorca. I haven't done Mallorca for years now. I don't even remember Mallorca, to be honest. So let's give it a go, but just before I do that, I want to make sure there's no controllers in Jeddah that's going to be annoyed with me for doing something so bodacious. Using VAT scope to find out, scope out my target. I don't know if Raj21 is, yeah, Raj21 is following me to Mallorca. So dude, if you want to get there at about the same time, I'm jumping an hour ahead to get the event. So jump ahead an hour later on. Masalama Habibi, let's go give it a shot. So went to McDo, jump ahead, and we said we want to jump ahead to Kitub. So we're going to be at 320 at this speed, and the time will be 12:59 Zulu versus, yep, that's what we want. I'm happy with that. And let's zoom out and see outside what's going on. And I'm going to use my thing here to just jump ahead. 3, 2, 1, warp. Confirm. Wait. All right, that worked. This is fantastic. Did anything break? Aircraft frozen. Hey. Okay. Leave everything. She's gonna fix herself. 320. Obviously the atmosphere changes as we go through, so she's gonna fix herself. Autopilot remained on. GPS primary lost. That's something I need to look at to make sure. Yep, accuracy still high. In Saudi Arabia, RMP required is actually RMP 5 in some of the airways. Area RMPs too. Yep, that's only if you are flying direct, my friend. Don't tell me. Let me clear this. Destination fuel below minimum. It's not. 320, fantastic. And I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna bring this back to lifetime. Yeah, what did I do? Why did I do that? Super. We're back at 11:50, and now it says we're gonna get to Mallorca at 18:14, which is in time for the event, which is all I wanted, which ends at 19. Plenty of time, and everything is now under control. It said destination fuel below minimum, but we're landing with 5.3, and we needed 2.3, and that's without the arrival in at this time. And that was a pretty cool jump ahead. We are in clouds. Let's see what the temperature outside is. -39. So technically this would be icing conditions, wouldn't it? Let's see if we can climb. Maybe we can get it to be too cold to ice up. So Optim 325 recommended max. So we can actually do level 340. Let's go. Get above. This was a significant weather that message that we received from our company. They're doing a pretty good job, eh? If you're actually watching my airplane, good on you. So we jumped ahead. Now we're climbing another 2,000 feet. I'm gonna play a little bit to help her climb. We'll open the speed window or full speed. We'll climb at decimal 76, and that should encourage a better climb rate so we can get to 340 just a bit quicker. It's obviously above optimum, but it is below maximum. That's fine, and we might be sitting just at the edge of these clouds, which could get bumpy for our ladies and gentlemen. So I'll turn the seatbelt signs on for the ladies and gentlemen. All right, some cloud surfing. I like that. I actually started this this journey with the Royal Jet, so I'm gonna text him, let him know that I'm an hour ahead now. Woo! Yo, I'm an hour ahead. I wish we could do this. Sometimes it can get boring. 8 hours can get boring, but you know, you just gotta keep your head down, read your note times, pretend like you're actually working for the money, and I guess every job's like that, right? We're doing more than 1600. Let me round out that climb by managing the speed again. And in order to accelerate, she's going to pitch down to below 1500 foot per minute. And she will level off nicely at 340. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm going to leave you guys with some window views for the next 5 or 10 minutes, and then the stream is going to go offline. So you're coming in for the arrival. New cruise altitude 340 checked. You're coming in for the arrival. Estimated touchdown time is 18:16 Zulu, and I think I should be on a little bit earlier. I want to be online around the Catania VOR, which is, let me click airport here and then we can work backwards. That's probably quicker and smarter. Catania Fontana Rosa VOR 16:30. Oh, that's too early. So yeah, well, I'll come in around Tablet. So I guess it's 20 minutes before top of drop, and then we can discuss things as we go down. And I'll see you all there if you are interested. And I'll have to look into starting a Discord so I can tell you guys when I'm doing it. But it just seems like a lot of work. Cool. And let me know if you want me to talk about something else on stream for the next one. Because I'm going to be able to see your messages while it's running on WingView. I'll take a look and then we'll disconnect shortly after. I'll leave you with the desert theme as well. I like as you're flying Etihad, you have to have the full Etihad experience. And we'll leave you with the left engine view. Enjoy your flight, ladies and gents. This looks like business class. It's a nice upgrade for you all as well. And we'll catch you all for the arrival in Lama. Arrivederci. Assalama. Alright guys, this is going to be the end of the stream. Thanks very much for watching. We'll catch you in the arrival for Palma de Mallorca, 8 hours to go. And have yourself a good day.